We've now extracted data from the 52 studies included in our review. But how do we know if we can trust the results? No study is perfect. Sometimes the way a study is designed or carried out can cause problems, and we call it bias. Think of a taste test where you can see the brand labels. Knowing which brand you are tasting might affect your judgement. In research, bias works in a similar way. But how do we check for bias in the included studies? Well, there's a tool for that. In fact, there are many tools. But because we're including only randomised trials in our review, we will use a tool called the Risk of Bias tool. This tool helps us identify which parts of randomised trials might be flawed. The tool looks at 7 parts of how a trial was carried out. First, we must look at how participants were put into the different treatment groups. Was it at random? Next, we will look at who enrolled the participants and whether they could predict what treatment group participants would be put into, or whether this was kept hidden. The next 2 parts look at the different people involved in the trial and whether they knew what treatment participants were getting. This is known as blinding. We will look at whether the people measuring the outcome, the participants themselves, and the people delivering the treatment knew what treatment group participants were in. Finally, we'll look at whether there is any outcome data missing, whether the researchers reported on all the outcomes they said they would, and whether there are any other biases. Together, looking at each of these 7 parts, we can start to build a full picture of the evidence and understand how much or how little we can trust their results.